and here's a video review, a long-awaited video review on my part at least. Masterpiece MP-32 Optimus Primal. Getting some Beast Wars masterpieces. We've seen Cheetor. I hope we get some more, especially after playing with this guy. I'm a big Beast Wars fan. I have been since it aired. So, and honestly, I was perfectly happy with the old school toy. And we'll bring him in real quick. This is actually the anniversary one that has the remolded features, but even the original toy, that was one of the things I liked about Beast Wars, is so many of the toys were so close to the show models because of how they designed them and did them. And I didn't like, it was like the epitome of like show accuracy toys. I would not have expected them to go even better on these things, and yet here we have this guy. So super stoked for this one. And again, like I said, he's kind of in a hunched over pose versus the standing gorilla that he comes packaged with. And you can actually take him, you lift up this little butt flap, and then his waist here can actually come up and out like this. I'll move this up so you can see it. See, this waist piece comes up almost straight back. I'll go ahead and plug this back together, which allows you to rotate these legs down and forward, bring his arms down, and then his head up, even up here, is on a ball joint, so that can tilt forward, and then you can turn his hands at the wrist or at the bicep swivel. But you can get him in more of a hunched over monkey pose, or gorilla pose, I guess I should say. Not really monkey, but you wish. And there he is with the old Ultra Class. Yeah, it was Ultra Class at the time. Primal, just to give you an idea of how they compare size-wise. We'll do lots of comparisons throughout the video. And here he is with Generations Rat Trap. We'll do Rhinox in robot mode, but just to give you an idea of how big he is compared to a modern toy, there he is with Generations Rat Trap, who we'll see more here in just a moment. Let me get his little binoculars out. So yeah, he's got a really nice paint job. I don't know if you can tell, but like, it's a water-based paint application where they kind of float the paint on top of what's like hydrographic or something like that. But and then they dip the piece in, and it makes that pattern on the thing. So it's not a textured fur, but it has a really nice painted / printed pattern all over it that really kind of helps it shine, aside from this very smooth, shiny stomach. If you've ever seen a real gorilla, he kind of has that. Obviously, there's lots of seam lines, but he has that kind of shiny black stomach there. And posability-wise here in monkey mode is actually pretty decent. Again, you've got the legs there. The feet do have some tilt, both front and back and side to side. You know, if you turn him around to the back, you do see some robot bits with the foot here and the back of the legs. But for the most part, he's a pretty decent-looking dude. The shoulder pads feel like they should, if you push them down any further, they just pop right back. And it feels like maybe these should click down there just to completely cover that white. But again, I don't know if they're homaging the original toy where you could see some of that white, or if it was intended to come a little further down or what. But I feel like those should fold down a little better. But yeah, so you've got the shoulder articulation. They can rotate forward like this as well. The elbow. Now he does still have the same kind of elbow as the old toy. I don't know why, maybe because of this mechanism, but it would have been nice to have a piece there to kind of fill that elbow in. So he's got just a hinge elbow there. It's not super concerning because you're not really looking at it in a lot of modes depending on how you have him posed, but it would have been nice. And again, you got the hips there, the feet, and then the head itself can look up and down, side to side, and all that good stuff. So your standard gorilla articulation, which you'd expect from a gorilla. Also, he's got different faces. This is his kind of neutral face that he comes with. You can just pop that right off and plug on an angry face, where he is much angrier than he was before. Personally, I prefer the neutral face, but he's also got kind of a happy monkey face here. This is how he smiles when he gets his bananas. And we'll show off the bananas shortly. But I do like the neutral face. I think that it's a good generic capture the boss monkey expression there. and transform him, which we definitely want to do. Actually, before we transform him, I forgot to show off one of the things I wanted to do. You take out Rat Trap's binoculars here on his arm. There's a little peg here on the back of Primal. It flips out, and you can plug it into Rat Trap's arm, and now Rat Trap can ride on the Boss Monkey's back. That's awesome. It's not in the instructions, where everybody's just kind of speculating that that's what that peg is for, but how can it not be? That's too cool. So anyway, that's what that little peg there on the back is allegedly for. Anyway, on to transformation. So we come up here. There's a lot of different ways to do this. Like the instructions go in a specific order, and some things you do have to do in a specific order, some things you don't. We'll start off, we'll go ahead and open up the, and pop this piece out. All day long, this thing just keeps wanting to pop out. Pop that out, lift this piece up and bring it forward. Untab these two pegs right here. You see these little tabs. Go into the slots and pull this whole assembly out. There we go. Let me get that out from there. Just like that, the whole assembly comes out like this. Oh, pop that other peg there. Bring his arms forward. There we go. So we're going to bring the arms forward, open up these panels. Those arm panels are blocking them. They didn't block them earlier. Weird. Anyway, open this up, take his monkey head. I'm going to rotate it down into the body while bringing the robot head up. Just like that. And this piece, you see his eyes are already lit up. We'll show that off in a minute. The batteries actually, you actually have to pop the monkey head off and put the batteries in down here. You'd see that little screw in there. You pop the monkey head off, unscrew that, and put two LR44s in there. Hello, Valkyrie. Bring this down. This piece sits inside the chest like that. Then this piece comes up and snaps in right there. This piece flips out. Again, the instructions don't do this until later, but there's no reason why you can't. Go ahead, pop that out. Rotate it around, snap it back into place like that for his chest. The backpack rotates around. Go ahead and bring these up. Now you can leave this as it is for now and only flip it later, but one of the features is he does have his little jetpack. I like to just go ahead and flip that around so he's got his little thrusters up. And then this comes back up, and then now these tabs. But before it was these tabs, now these tabs tab in to these back pieces. And then the little cannons fold down like that. Focus here just to be safe. And then pull the shoulder pads on up like that. Arms can go back into position. And he's done. No, I'm just kidding. We gotta do his legs. So yeah, but there he is. Go ahead and make sure his waist is plugged all the way back in up here. Snap into place like that. And then on the legs, I'm going to come around, go ahead and flip these out first. It seems weird, but that's what the instructions say to do. And when I didn't flip those out first, it didn't want to flip out later. So flip those out first. Pull this panel down. Rotate it around like this. Hear my dog drinking water. She's thirsty. You better? All right. Rotate that around. Come on. There we go. And snap it back up like that. The monkey foot, or the robot foot flips out. The monkey foot flips, the gorilla foot flips in, and that forms the heel. Same on this side. Like that. Rotate it around the clicky waist. You hear that clicky waist? Good job. Bring the leg out and down. Out and down. And this panel lifts up. Goes in there and goes around the kneecap. Now his knees are a lot like his elbows in that I respect how they're capturing the source material. But when you bend his knees, well, it looks less ridiculous there, but like his kneecap kind of sticks out like a ball, which is a little odd. But for the most part, like visually, I think it really captures Optimus Primal. I'm really happy with this toy. I don't know if I've said that, but I'm really super stoked about this. And there he is in his robot mode, his basic robot mode. You can take the shoulder thrusters and flip them forward over his head if you wish. Posability wise, he's got everything you'd expect. His head looks up and down, side to side. I don't know if it's on a ball joint, if it's just dual swivels, side to side swivel and up and down. I believe it's side to side swivel and up and down swivel. I don't think it's on a ball joint. But ratcheting front to back elbows, swivel side to side, bicep swivel. Again, that empty elbow. He does have a wrist swivel, which is nice, and his fingers open up in much the Masterpiece style, where the index finger is individual and the rest are all one piece. We already saw the clicky waist swivel, clicky hips side to side. There actually feels to be like some detents front to back, although it's not making a big clicky noise. There is physically a little bump, bump, bump as you move his legs. The knees we saw, they are double jointed knees. You can get his foot all the way back up there. He does have ankle tilts, and he does have front to back ankle articulation as well. So all in all, he's fairly posable. I did mention the light up eyes, and once the battery's in, all you do is push down on his head, and his eyes light up. The lighting here is making them not look as impressive as they do. They're not like super bright, but they definitely do light up. And they'll stay on for a set amount of time, a few seconds, and then they'll turn back off. So yeah. Accessory-wise for robot mode, he does have his has separate faces. You kind of reach in here, pop off that face. You get in there, you can see the LED there in his helmet. And he's got a kind of stoic, squinty face with thinner eyes. If you want him to look skeptical of something. He's got a smiling face with one eye kind of squinted and one eye open. And he's got evocative of the old toy and like a couple of scenes in the first season. I know especially in the last episode, you can give him his faceplate if you want that look. But again, much like his monkey mode or gorilla mode, I keep saying monkey, I mean gorilla. I think I like his stock face the best. So we'll put that back on. It's nice to have options. He does have his swords, which, again, you open up his fingers. You want to make sure they're open up all the way, because it's kind of it's a little tricky to get this in there, but you just kind of slide it in there, tab it into the hand, then close the fingers around it. And he can hold his swords. Same on this side. Oh, other way. So he's got those, and well, again, they don't have any storage. None of his weapons have any storage in beast mode. You can either with them. I'll do it both ways. With the missile launcher up or down, this little tab right here, there's a slot on the side of the sword. You can tab those onto his backpack, so he can store those on his back. And like I said, with the missile launcher up or down, there it is. With it down, it fits on. There it is. With it up, it fits on. So however you want to have it positioned, he can store those on his back. He does have a little tab hole on this side and not on this arm for no reason I can discern. I thought maybe it was an assembly error, but no, even the instructions show him with this little empty piece, even though like there's nothing in the instructions on what that's used for, and nothing I can think of that's used for. But hey, you know, maybe it's something that is coming later. Maybe it was a canceled feature. Who knows? But these side pieces, there's a little tab here in the arm. If you push that up a little bit, or raise these up just enough, you can pull that up, extend that, and he's got his forearm blasters. And there's one on each side. So yeah, an advantage over the original, which only had a blaster on this side, where his whole forearm opened up and flipped back and it shot a couple missiles. He doesn't launch any missiles, but he does have the LED features. But he's got the sword, he's got the shoulder launchers, he's got the forearm blasters, and if you got the version that came with the aforementioned banana crate, in here is a die-cast version of his mace. I love the banana box, it's cool. But so you come in here, you pull this out of the tab, around here, pull it out through here, and just pop this out. It's a die-cast version of the mace on a chain. The chain I feel is a little long. Again, easy enough to shorten by taking a few links out if you want. But it's got some real heft to it. Like even when it's in the box, you pick up the box and like, that is heavier than I expected. Because this is all solid die-cast or stainless steel or some sort of metal pewter. Maybe not pewter, but... And again, he's got the same tab, so you can put that in his hand, put his hand around it, and he can swing his mace. Although again, like I said, I'd rather have the chain be a little shorter, the flail, I guess, not the mace, but my wife corrected me, but give him his little skull weapon. And it comes in a cool little banana box, which I just adore. Anyway, so that's all of his weapons and accessories and fun things. It's just a really lovely figure. It really is. I'm very happy. I'm very impressed with it. And now, of course, comparisons with other figures. We can't pass those up. There's too many good ones to do. So first off, here he is, again, with his old toy. And again, you'd think... this toy was so good for its time, and I still think this is a really good, solid toy. This one's just outstanding. I think if you like Primal and you've got either one of these on your shelf, you're good. But wow, yeah. I used to think that this was the epitome of that was the show model. Great. How are they ever going to do a better toy of that? And then they did this. So there he is with his old school self. Here he is with his transmetal self. Here he is with his super transmetal self, his optimal self. With his beast machine self. And of course, I'm going to wait for Masterpiece Cheetor to show him off with the Cheetor. But here he is with Generations Rat Trap and Generations Rhinox. Rhinox may be a little on the small side in comparison to him, but I think they look really good together. So yeah, anyway, MP-32, Masterpiece Optimus Primal. I don't know what I can tell you to buy this if you weren't already looking at it. It's fantastic. I know that turning a gorilla, any sort of simian type beast into a humanoid robot, not the most taxing of transformations, but it's not like turning a car into a humanoid, but just really well done. Minor nitpicks, the elbows and the knees, just the emptiness of them when they're bent. I do wish that if they weren't going to include this accessory, we wouldn't have had this empty peg hole. I think that kind of ruins the lines for something that's not there, unless there's an unannounced feature we haven't seen. But I like the light up eyes. I like the variety in the swappable faces. Posability, he's nice. Transformation is not difficult. He's just a lot of fun. He's a really great representation of the character in plastic physical form. So yeah, absolutely worth the money. I do highly recommend picking this up if you've got the dosh. There is Masterpiece MP-32 Optimus Primal.